Hi, this is Briskidor, the barbecue wizard, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Bye-bye!
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me.
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 2 feet or wiener.
Now listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It's the Barbecue Central Show, where we talk about only the most important things that are happening in the world of live fire, barbecue, grilling, and or otherwise. This show originating from
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
You missed the first hour, you missed a conversation with barbecue icon Steven Reichlin, and then you missed one with Wes Wright from cookoutnews.com. Never fear, we are recording, of course. The video will auto-archive as soon as the show is over. You can watch it until your heart's delightfulness. Ooh, tough time with words tonight. Or you can get the first hour tomorrow on audio podcast like most of you do. Also, you will get the second hour on Thursday. We'll talk about Friday here in a second. Still to come on this show this evening, Susie, and perhaps a visit from Todd Bullock as well. Triple T, Taste Head Todd. Say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show, or you can go to youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show, where we have a YouTube poll question of the week, and we're asking everybody this, including all guests. Did you know that both Memphis in May and Smoke Slam happened this past weekend? And currently 57% of you are saying yes, you knew that both happened this past weekend. 43% of you were saying no, you did not. And again, as I said to Steven Reichlin, who did not know that either of... Wait, Steven did not.
Andrew, you are
Not. No, about Memphis in May and Smoke Slam happened this past week. I was shocked. Wes Wright only knew 50% of those he didn't realize that those two were on a head-to-head collision course, as they have been for the last 2 years. So 43% of you did not know that either of those took place this past weekend in Memphis. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday, episode 383, taking you back to March 24th of 2016. And this week we feature a gentleman who was a semi-frequent guest on the show when he was at Weber Grills. That being a guy by the name of Kevin Coleman. Back in March of 2016, Weber was trotting out their new Weber Summit Charcoal Grill. It came in a few different variants, one more expensive than the other. Many considered it to be a bit overpriced when it came out, considering what it was. However, that sentiment quickly went away once you realized how different this particular unit was from their traditional kettle-style cookers. However, the most notable part of this launch was Weber going out of their way to say that this Weber Summit Charcoal Grill was not looking to compete in the ceramic grill space at all. There are a number of things that could actually go head-to-head when compared to a ceramic cooker, but Weber saying that this was not a ceramic grill killer or slayer or whatever descriptor you want to throw in. Then, of course, a few years later, they changed the name to the Weber Charcoal, from the Weber Charcoal Summit Grill to the Weber Kamado Grill. Oh, because it's not competing in the ceramic grill market, of course. Right. Confusing marketing and branding aside, let's mention the most important fact when it comes to the now Weber Kamado Grill, or Weber Charcoal Kamado Grill, whatever it's called. All the confusion aside, everyone who has ever cooked on it Loves it. Very versatile, very fuel efficient, very easy to control temp. In fact, many people say that this grill specifically is the one that they would take to with them if they were stranded on an island and they could only bring one cooker with them for the rest of their days on a stranded island. Which is always a weird question to ask because, like, what are you cooking when you're alone on that island? Especially a guy like me. I mean, you think I'm going to be hunting? I mean, I'll be dead inside of 2 weeks. But for those much manlier men and women than me who can fend for themselves and would like a vessel to cook, the Weber charcoal Kamado grill is the one that they would be taking with them. And I've never cooked on one, but I would probably take that one with me as well. It's very big. You can do a lot of high heat. You can do a lot of low and slow. Lance Owens, barbecue realtor to the stars in Kona, Hawaii right now, saying that that would be the grill he would take with him. Now, Lance, in a little bit different scenario, he happens to be in paradise. When you're in paradise, you have a Weber charcoal Kamado, of course. That's what paradise happens, and that's what it gives you. But even if not, he's taking it with him. Don't forget, if you want to hear a guest or a segment that you feel has been lost in the archives low these many years, you can email John, let him know you would like to hear. John, Jon, at thebbqcentralshow.com. That's Jon at thebbqcentralshow.com. All right, we're going to get out a little early here. Susie and Todd have been waiting what appears to be an incredibly long time. We'll have to talk about that right off the rip. But before we do that, we will make them wait a few moments as we talk about Big Papa Smokers, who is celebrating 15 years of being in the barbecue and grilling business, helping both Backyard Warriors and competition pros bring home the grand championship. Whether you're prepping for your next comp or just firing up the grill for spring or summer or a backyard barbecue, Big Papa Smokers award-winning rubs are there to help you out. Flavors like Sweet Money, competition brisket and steak, cash cow, cattle prod have the bold flavors to take your barbecue to the next level. And for a limited time, they have brought back a fan favorite, Cucaracha. Gives you that little extra kick you've been craving. Barbecue Central Show listeners, this one's for you. You can now use promo code BBQ Central 25. That's the letters BBQ Central and the numerals 25 all together at checkout for free shipping. Now through June 30th. So you got just about a month left. Take advantage of saving. Visit BigPapaSmokers.com. Stock up now. BBQ Central 25. That's BBQ Central 25 for free ground shipping. Some exclusions apply. Our friends over at BigPapaSmokers.com. In fact, I talked to Sterling a couple days ago. Not walking yet, but getting close. That guy is determined. Good for you, Sterling. The microphone stand right here just scared the S out of me. Thought it was a huge... Whoa. All right. Susie and Todd next.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. Leading off the second hour tonight is the creator of the Hey Grill Hey brand. You might know her as Susie Bullock. Joining the show. Hey, Susie, and look at that. There's a appearance with Triple T is here as well. Taste Test. Todd, so happy to have you guys here as we get ready to venture from spring into the summer. We got Memorial Day coming up that we'll talk about here in just a second as well. But before we do all that nonsense, we have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody. Susie, you first. Todd, don't listen because I don't want her to color your answer. Did you know that Memphis in May and SmokeSlam happened this past weekend?
Yes.
Yes, sorry. Todd, did you know that Memphis in May and SmokeSlam happened this past weekend?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I had giant FOMO too.
We had major FOMO. So many of our friends were there cooking, and we did not make it. This is the first year we haven't been out to Memphis in
years.
Probably 5 years. So we were sad to miss.
I thought you didn't go last year.
We did go last
Oh,
year.
I
Todd
did.
went last year.
Oh, right.
One or the other of us has been there for the last 5 years, I think.
So this was a big Memphis in May because this is the second time in 3 years that barbecue ribs not only obviously won a category because they have to, but they won the overall world grand championships. Heath Riles this time, who has been ever so close 3 out of the last 5 years finaling in ribs. But to push over that threshold, big deal for him in many different respects, trying to land a segment with him at some point. But as somebody who's been around a Heath Riles, like, what can you tell us from a fan standpoint?
He deserves it so much. I don't know if anybody practices more or works harder than Heath Riles. I think he told Todd, how many racks of ribs did he cook in practice?
I might have been embellishing. He told me over 200 racks of ribs to practice.
Yep.
And then he cooks so many the day of the comp so he can get a perfect and identical one. It's the way he's dialed in.
He pulls like 3 ribs out of each rack of ribs for his box.
Yeah.
So he has a massive investment financially to even just test and prepare for the competition, and then getting out there and all this stuff it's a massive cost for people to actually go compete at Memphis in May. So anyway, we're super excited for him. He totally deserves it. He just is the best. We love Heath.
What do you think why do you think that prior to the last 2 out of 3 years, there was like a 20, 21, 22 year gap between the last ribs win? It was an incredible gap of time. Do you have any thought on why ribs just weren't winning? I mean, I like whole hog and shoulder like the next guy, but I mean, pound for pound, I think I'm ribs guy over everything else.
I think I would prefer to eat ribs too. And I don't actually know the answer to this, but my guess, and again, it probably comes down to judging and scores, and there's probably a lot there, right? But whole hog and shoulder, the way that Memphis does it is different than any other organizational body in barbecue. And so I think that's kind of what they've come to be known for more than anything, is the whole hog presentation or that whole giant shoulder presentation. Ribs, I feel like, is maybe a little bit more commonplace across KCBS, all the other, governing bodies. So maybe it has to do with the fact that it's just kind of that it feels very Memphis in May when you think whole hog or that whole giant shoulder. I don't know.
I think you look at the teams, if I mention like Myron and Melissa Cookston and the Shed that have won it.
Tuffy, Chris Lilly.
Yeah, multiple. No, for whole hog specifically. Like these guys put on a show. Like if you go watch Myron present or the Shed present, like it's an event. Like it's and the whole hog is just such a show to put on that I think it just kind of took over for a while. It's like that was the star of the show,
Yeah.
Yep. Memorial Day coming up this coming Monday. Most popular Hey Grill Hey Memorial Day recipe that you're seeing on the website.
Speaking of ribs, our rib rub is incredibly popular. If you search rib rub on Google, I think we might be in the top spot, but I think a lot of people are wanting to do ribs this year. It's a really great kind of brown sugar based rub, but it has a couple interesting things in it that make it, I think, a little bit more of a standout instead of just like your traditional brown sugar based sweet rub. So it's really unique for ribs, really delicious. Ton of people surprisingly looking up brisket. It's been trending down recently. So I'm happy to see brisket coming back. Mm-hmm. That's great. We saw, a big spike during COVID, and then it dropped for like 2 or 3 years. We're just not as many people. I think probably economically it's a higher price, cut.
Thanks, Obama.
Oh, wait, sorry. To everything. That's not political. Please don't send me messages. And then crispy chicken wings, crispy smoked chicken wings. That's always kind of a top player for us, but we usually see that one trend more around like football tailgating season. We see it for New Year's because it's a great finger appetizer party food. And then we see it again for the Super Bowl. And then it kind of falls off through the summer. I'm really surprised to see my crispy chicken wing recipe sparking a lot of interest for Memorial Day.
Because I am an elite multitasker, I Googled rib rub, and off to the left there's two sponsored one. There's a Heath Riles, there's an Amazon.com. But as you mentioned, unsponsored, you're right there at the top. So,
can we talk about 202 reviews and 4.9 stars?
Yes, let's, because, I mean, you're talking to a guy that has no idea of, like, what that actually means from a...
We paid for every one of those reviews.
Thank God!
That's both illegal and unethical.
Truth Teller Todd, triple T. Truth Teller Todd. Good for you.
I'm kidding.
He's just here to he likes to drive up the ire.
He's engagement farming. That's what we call it here.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Rage bait.
Yes. Never to see Todd again, unfortunately. I'm sure. So getting 200 reviews, 4.9 stars. So I mean, I get 4.9 as a 10th away from 5. Come back over here, Todd.
Okay.
So, like, as the business owners and the people that have the stake in the company, I mean, obviously you have employees as well who want to see everything do good. But, I mean, this is your face, your brand, your name. What does that mean to have that many and that high of a ranking?
I love it so much. Okay, so the ranking itself is great. The fact that 200 people loved it enough to come back and leave a review. You know this with Google. Not everybody's coming back to leave a positive review. If they like something, generally they're louder about it than if, or they dislike something, they're louder about that than if they like it.
Yep.
So when we have recipes like that do well and that are positively received, it's really cool. But one thing that we think about a lot and why I love the review system and the comment system on our website is people come back and tell us stories. And it's not just, hey, this was delicious. It's, hey, this was delicious. I cooked 12 rackets of ribs for my daughter's graduation party. Everybody was asking for the recipe. It was unbelievable. I served 50 people. We're going to be using this recipe forever. You're part of the family lore. And so to have that, I was talking about this with my 13-year-old yesterday. He was laughing because a few of his teachers had cooked Hey Grill, Hey recipes, and he thought that was like kind of funny. For a middle schooler, like that's kind of like, oh, my mom, like it's not thrilling. You know what I mean?
Is it not?
Oh yeah, my mom. I don't know. I think they've grown up with it, so it's probably not as exciting to them. Maybe. Do you know what I mean? It's just like,
no.
Yeah, that's what my mom does
God,
for work.
My kids talk about my dad has a barbecue podcast. Like it's the coolest effing thing. And I look at, I'm like, you do tell them that?
Like,
they love it.
Like if their teacher was like, hey, your dad does my taxes, the kid would be like, okay. Like, I think that's what it's like at this point for our kids. Because that's all we've done. That's our job. That's our business. That's our lives. So we were talking about that with our 13-year-old because he brought up that some of his teachers had cooked some of the recipes and followed us. And I was like, yeah, that is pretty cool actually. But what's really cool is this. And we showed him some comments from people that had cooked some of our recipes at like an end of life celebration for family members. And like I said, graduation parties are happening right now. Weddings, we're coming up on wedding season, and to be able to be a tiny little part, right? Because I'm not the one cooking the food. You're cooking the food. This is your accomplishment. But to be this tiny little piece of an event like that and a family memory like that, it makes so much of what we do worth it. It's this little touch point across the internet. It's this little touch point from my family and my backyard and my recipes and what I love and what I care about on your table. I really can't think too deep about it or I get like emotional. But it's so cool. We have been, if we think about it that way, my recipes have been in tens, hundreds of millions of homes.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing that I ever could have imagined in my whole life. It's like I was able to be a part of feeding and being a part of these people's family memories.
Yep.
It's so cool. So 202 reviews, 4.9 stars is amazing. I'm so glad that you liked the recipe, but holy cow, think of all the families that fed.
Todd, from a business perspective, when you're talking to your kids, you guys don't strike me as the couple that's going to be like, hey, one of you is going to take over
Hey Grill Hey. So the better question is, has anybody showed any interest either on a business side or a recipe creation side at this point where you would at least have a glimmer that there could be somebody you're turning this empire over to?
The answer to the empire turning over is absolutely not. None of them want anything to do with it.
But young kids still.
I know. They're still pretty young.
They're getting a front seat glance at watching this lady run her business and what she's doing. And it's just been, I think, the most beneficial thing as parents that we could have ever done for them.
Yeah, right.
For us, work and family and business and life and fun is all very tied together. Like we do for a living what most people do for a hobby or for a weekend activity or for a fun event. Like that's our livelihood. And so our kids have a really interesting way of looking at the world. It'll be really fascinating to see when they graduate high school, like, are they going to go to college? Are they going to try and major in something? Are they interested in a career? Are they interested in a profession? I think all of our kids tend to right now lean a little bit entrepreneurial and want to do things outside of the traditional business scope. And I can't say that I blame them because, this is what they grew up with. So that's kind of what they know.
The cool thing is you tell your kids, you can do anything. You set your mind to it. You can do anything. Like they literally believe it. I was told that as a kid and I'm like, yeah, I'll just be an accountant for 50 years. There's no way I'm going to be able to be a rock star or whatever. But like they really believe, they've watched her do it. And so they know that it's possible. And so they have that desire to chase and do exactly what they want to do. It's awesome.
When my kid was 10 and told me that he wanted to be a famous YouTuber and video game designer, I couldn't tell him no, get a real job.
Yeah, right.
I cook barbecue on the internet for a living. What am I going to say? I'm going to say, no, you can't have a non-traditional career. So our kids really do have an interesting perception professionally about what they want to do. I think all of them love the idea of being entrepreneurial and doing work that aligns with their passions and their interests. So I don't think any of their passions or interests right now are barbecue necessarily. But it will be really fun to watch them kind of do their own thing.
All right. Well, I appreciate the inside look there and getting a little get to know you time in that regard. So let's say a little bit of business. Why not? Last time you guys were on the show, you hinted that there was a new product on the way, but didn't give any real detail. And now 5 or 6 months later, we have the Hey Grill Hey Pitmaster gloves on the market. And from a few folks that I know who have them, they are some of the best of those gloves on the market. So where do you see the opportunity in the market to go ahead and bring your own for sale?
This was mostly Todd, actually. I luckily have built the platform and kind of the brand. Todd has been the guru. If you guys, we've talked about this before, but actually bringing our products to market, bringing the rubs and sauces to market, he's been the mastermind organizationally to make all of that happen. And that was also true with the gloves. So you can tell them how the gloves happened.
Yeah, I found my first purchase of these was exactly 5 years ago. I bought like every glove that existed on the market. For some of them were even dealing with like chemicals.
It was, he bought every barbecue glove that existed that we could find, every style, every type, every brand. But he also bought gardening gloves. He bought welding gloves. He bought ranching gloves and chemical gloves and commercial kitchen dishwashing gloves, like any glove that was out there, because we were so dissatisfied with what the barbecue world kind of had to offer.
For specifically handling hot meat, right? And being able to have dexterity to pull chunks of fat off and shred and slice, there are barbecue gloves out there that do what they need to do, right? But these ones are specifically just for handling hot meat. So you don't have to wear the cotton glove with the nitrile over it anymore. These are reusable, just wash them like you're washing your hands. But I can tell you, I spent a lot of time calling factories that I looked up the makers of these gloves and called them all over the world. And most of them just laughed at me when I told them that there was a real market here. But anyway, we eventually found the right partners and got them made, and it was a long journey, and it was very emotional when they got to our warehouse and we were able to sell them. A lot of people supported us in a pre-sale, which was super helpful to get the first order here, because you have to buy a minimum amount, and it's a lot of money. It's a big investment. So the pre-sale was crucial to that. People supporting us in this it's just been amazing. The feedback's been mostly positive, some negative, which we really appreciate. We don't want it to be all sunshine and rainbows. We want the negative feedback to get better. So it's been really great, and it's been a fun experience. And we hope the main hope is that we can provide a tool that makes things better and easier for people while they're cooking. That's all it is. Because that's what I did, is I wanted this glove so bad that I just made it happen. So.
Ryan Cowles in the instant chat saying the gloves are amazing. I never need to wear cotton gloves under my nitrile gloves again, and that would still burn me. So review plus number one here live on the show.
We went through the whole development process, and like Todd said, our initial goal was just that you could grab a 200+ degree pork shoulder off the smoker, a hot rack of ribs, a hot pan of brisket, or a whole chicken, and have the dexterity and the grip that you needed, but also some heat protection, similar to what you would get with a cotton with a nitrile over. What we ended up with was even better. These are double dipped nitrile and a thicker lining than you would get with a classic cotton glove. And we put these through multiple rounds of third-party testing. So in laboratories that tested these to failure, we're over 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So you're not just handling hot meat. You can actually, I use these to get cookie sheets out of the oven when we're baking. We use them to move our cast iron around because you get the grip and the heat protection. And these are also third-party lab tested for food safety, because if you're putting anything on hot meat, you want to make sure that it's going to perform and you're going to be able to eat the food that you're touching. So these actually meet all FDA certifications for food safety, again, like independently lab tested. So it was a long journey, but we had a high wish list of things that we wanted it to do, and they do all of them. So like you see, the feedback is coming in, and it's been really awesome, and we're super excited. We think there's so much potential for these to continue to grow.
How much for a pair?
$21.99 right now.
That's not bad.
I think it's actually really, really reasonable. And we just placed our second order because we sold so many of them so quickly that we're already reordering. And with the current pricing situation, we are going to have to bring the price up here in a little bit to probably $24.99, I think. But for now, they're $21.99. So
introductory price.
Is that a tariff? Yeah. Is that a tariff thing?
It's a tariff thing, a shipping thing, and a manufacturing thing.
Yeah. How many do you have to buy at a time?
Minimum is 15,000
pair.
Wow.
Pair. So 30,000 individual gloves.
Yeah. Wow. Is that like a container, or do you share a container with somebody, or what does that look like?
Yeah, it was a shared container, and it was less than I thought it would be. It was 6 full pallets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stacked about maybe 7 to 8 feet high. It wasn't as bad. I was expecting like a whole truck full, and it was just 6 pallets. So
yeah. But if we can scale it the way that I think we can, hopefully next time it is a full container. That would be super cool.
And these are going to go, so are they online now, or any retailer, brick and mortar, that would carry your rubs or products is also has opportunity to carry those gloves?
It's a slow trickle. So Shields has them.
Shields jumped on and actually ordered them before we even had them in stock.
Yeah.
They said, you know what? We believe in you and your products. We think these are super cool. We think they'll do well. They placed an order before they even landed. So that was super cool.
They're at a handful of small retailers, but mainly online now on our website, heygrillhey.com, and then they're also available on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon's more, but you don't have to pay shipping.
Yeah. Well,
so
great.
If you're a Prime person.
Any other colors besides the yellow and black, or are we staying with that?
We're sticking with the yellow and black. Yeah. One of the reasons, this is Hey Grill Hey's primary brand color, but they're also high visibility. And a lot of people, when you're cooking barbecue, we are often cooking overnight. It makes them really easy to spot when you're cooking outdoors, or when you're digging around in your grill kit. We have like a couple of drawers. We have a couple of like outdoor rolling kits where we keep all of our tools. So it makes them really easy to spot.
We have 2 people that have said they're not going to buy it because it's yellow, but I'm not going to change it for 2 people.
It's also, I got to tell you, they're really easy to spot. When our friends cook with them and share videos, you're like, oh, those are the Hey Grill Hey gloves.
Yeah.
Like they stand out and they look really good, and people ask questions about them, which is great. So for now, yellow's our color. Maybe in the future we'll roll out, some different color options, but this is where we're at right now.
Yeah. So my biggest complaint, and it sounds like it was the biggest complaint that, Todd was experiencing, is you had let's call them the dishwashing style hot heat barbecue gloves, but they were always thick at the fingers. There was no dexterity. It was like very Frankenstein working through the butts. And I had always then resorted to the knit gloves that I buy on Amazon, like 1,000 for 8 cents. And then I found a 7 mil nitrile glove that I liked. It's pretty reasonable, but I don't like throwing money away. And every time I put on a nitrile glove, I'm like, putting on 10 cents or 15 cents and then using it for 8 seconds and pitching it in the garbage. And doesn't seem to make sense to me. So knowing that there's this option, which is kind of the best of both worlds, very exciting. Easily spend $21 on that, or $24 or even $30. So
I realize I failed in not sending you a pair, so you've got a pair on the way tomorrow.
Oh, great! Thank you.
What size do you want?
Extra large, I think.
Okay. We usually tell people to line up with the size that you wear in a nitrile glove. That's kind of your closest match.
Yeah.
They are meant to fit really snug, right? So they're a snug fit, so you have the dexterity, and you still have some really nice grip, but if you're kind of in between sizes or you're worried, we were like, just size up. But if you're an XL and a nitrile, you'll probably be great. Yeah,
I have exceptionally big hands, so I've been extra large long time. I was able to palm a basketball in the 8th grade, if you can believe it or not.
Wow.
Yes. Couldn't do anything else with a basketball, but I could palm it. Look, before I let you go, a year-ish or so ago, we're at the ThermoWorks event. I don't know if you remember that or not. And while we were luxuriating at the Owens Mountainside Mansion Resort, you had mentioned that you were done with a book. You weren't sure if you were going to get it over the goal line. You asked me to berate you publicly until you did. Luckily, that didn't have to happen, and you got it over the goal line. So, long way to ask, like, where are we in a book process at this point?
90%. We're in final stages of editing, making sure that we have all the layout, formatting, and photos that we want inside the book itself. The cover's design.
We're shooting some photos next week, right?
Last photos. We have a couple last photos that we're knocking out, and then it's going to print. Probably our goal is to have it sent to print in June. And then we're anticipating an arrival of like October. So we're hoping to launch before Christmas this year.
Really?
Yeah, really. This year. It's happening.
Is that dangerous to launch it? Well, I guess that would be gift-giving season, right? The Hey Grill Hey gift of the year.
Yeah.
Would it be like a soft launch?
We're self-publishing. So we're going to launch leading up to Christmas and give people opportunity that want it to get it. And then we'll really do a big push for it kind of spring of 2026.
Yeah.
So.
Very exciting.
I know. I'm also very excited. I've been working. That's been probably 90% of my work time the last month or so has been on the cookbook. So.
All right. Last question before I let you go. Appreciate the time. Outside of the country, what is the number one? I've asked this question terribly. Allow me to start over again. I'm so embarrassed. Oh my God. Outside of this country, what is number one on the list to travel to and eat through, Susie?
Japan.
Japan.
You've never even been there.
It's number one on the list.
Oh,
right.
You meant
I thought you meant to go to, or where have I been?
No. Number one on your list to go to and eat through.
Yes. Japan is number one on my list to go to.
All right.
Oh, even though we've never been there.
Yes.
Yeah, that can be number one. Of course.
That's where I want to go next and eat.
Todd,
cool.
Number one on your list to go to and eat through, out of the country.
Like that I've been to or want to go to?
Just wherever you want to go. Number one on the list.
Yeah,
the bucket list of food.
Oh, okay.
Bucket list.
Todd
Italy.
Todd is determined that I was not asking this question right, number one. And number 1A, that Susie was answering it wrong. Todd, know your role. You got to go.
I feel fine about it.
You still got to live with her
I just
tonight.
wanted to make sure. I wasn't trying to correct. I just want to make sure. Mine's Italy. I'm a big gluten fan, so I want to go eat all the noodles.
Yeah, I love gluten. Long time. Man, oh man.
Also, this is a hard question because now I'm like, oh no, I want to go to Thailand, or oh no, I want to go to India,
Korea,
or oh no, yeah, we have a lot of places to go eat. So many places.
No, ask me where I want to go outside of the country. Oh wait, I can answer that. I don't want to go out of the country. I don't. You go. I'll live through you vicariously and hear all your stories. I'll stay right here where it's safe.
We'll just send you pictures of everything we ate.
Yes, that's it. Send me daily vlogs of your own, hot takes on food. Hot takes with Todd and Susie eating the globe.
Yes,
that would be great.
That's the next business when Hey Grill, Hey falls apart because none of our kids want it. You'll just
food
get
travel.
Old people eating food. That's our retirement plan.
That's my favorite. I love it.
I feel like I should lock down that Instagram handle right now, actually.
Please.
Old people eating food. I feel like that's a great round 2 for us.
Yeah, at Old People Eating Food. I'll be your first subscriber, so let me know secretly when you get it locked down.
Thank you. I will.
Someone's going to go get it and try to charge us.
I know.
Dang it.
Hurry. Have one of those kids
doing it right
do it.
now.
Have one of those kids. Right? Grab it. We'll confirm next time when we see you. We're talking with Susie Bullock and Todd Bullock at Hey Grill Hey on social, heygrillhey.com, the website. Guys, thanks so much for coming on, and we'll talk to you again in a couple months.
Thank you.
Bye,
there they are. Don't you dare take that handle from them. You punks. Let them secure the handle, and away they go. I don't even remember what it was. God, I told somebody else the other day. I hear 40%, 45% of the show at Old People Eating Food, I think it was. Don't anybody take that. Let them take that. And then let me be the first subscriber. Don't ruin this for me. We're doing it live.
We'll do it live.
Right, Bill? Anyway. Hey, are you tired of diets that make you choose between good food and real results? Well, you don't have to anymore. David McDowell has cracked the code. His personalized fat loss coaching for barbecue lovers lets you eat food that you love, like ribs, brisket, and wings, and you can still lose weight, get lean, and feel amazing. Now, this isn't some fad. It's a proven system that has included a barbecue-friendly meal plan, tailored health strategies, weekly check-ins, so you're never guessing, never alone, never forced to give up what you love. And if you want to be part of something bigger, to surround yourself with like-minded barbecue lovers who are dropping weight, getting stronger, and staying motivated, then online, the Barbecue Diet Group is where you need to be. Now, here's the deal. You can keep struggling on your own, or you can plug into a system that works. Join now, get exclusive access to expert coaching, real-world strategies, and a support crew that won't let you fail. Go to school.com/BBQ, and school is spelled SKOOL. School.com/BBQ right now and take the first step, because you can have your barbecue and you can have your dream body, but you got to take action. I have more on that coming up. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
It was like, I mean, it is a struggle with the words tonight. There's no doubt about it. We thank Susie and Todd Bullock from Hey Grill Hey for joining us last segment. You know, for 17 years, Green Mountain Grills has brought the smoke to the competition scene and backyards all over the world. The Venturi-style Firebox delivers the cleanest 150-degree smoke in the pellet grain. Prime 2.0 grill blends proven technology with the technology of the future. Wi-Fi, of course, accessories out the wazoo, and that side burner, which is kick-ass. Check out the new 2.0 Green Mountain Grill at greenmountaingrills.com. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start tonight. Last week, I complained, not ad nauseum, but almost, with how Sterling Ball didn't get into the Barbecue Hall of Fame. And then I dropped a little nugget for you. Said, hey, by the way, did you notice this year has been a little bit different as it relates to the Hall of Fame than it has over the last 6 or 7 years or however long it's been? Well, what do you mean? Well, we didn't do a reveal of the top 10 finalists on this show for the first time in 5 or 7 years. And then subsequently, we will not do a full Barbecue Hall of Fame reveal like we've done over the last 5 or 7 years. Now, the ego is robust. The ego is made of stainless steel, 304 machine grade, marine grade stainless. So let's not worry about that. But being the businessman that I am here to build relationship, to give value, to be of service. So when something happens that disrupts an ongoing relationship that I've had, where I felt like I've certainly kept up my end of the bargain, done a lot of good things in support of the Hall of Fame and specifically the American Royal, for them to ditch this week or this year and zero heads up. Like, I want to know. That's the sales guy in me. I can accept that we are broken up at this point. Done it a number of times in business. Sometimes I just know in advance we're doing business now. There's probably going to be a time when we might not do business. Here's why. And when those metrics are hit, I'm usually right. We don't. But a lot of times we'll come back together, what have you. No money exchanging hands here. This is just relationship building with the American Royal and the Hall of Fame. And having had so many years in to then all of a sudden get no heads up, only seeing that the list of finalists had been already sent out and announced. I was a little surprised, a little shocked, wondered why. I reached back out to the contact at the Hall of Fame and said, hey, wanted to reach out to see if you were still planning to do the finalist announcement and then the actual class of 25. And then I got a reply back many hours later. I was waiting to hear back from our marketing team to confirm a few details. Since the Hall of Fame is an American Royal entity, all official news will come directly from the American Royal first. We're happy to continue our podcast partnership following the official press release and social media announcement. I hope that clarifies things. And I wrote back, the question is why? Why did we stop doing the reveals on the show? Like, I get that the American Royal is the entity. They want to take control of that. They think that was a better idea than doing it live.
We'll do it live
on the show, not only one time, but 2 times during the month and 2 successive weeks doing it live.
We'll do it live.
Yes, Bill, we'll do it live. I'm going to disagree on that. Now, that was sent 10 hours ago, wondering why the reveals stopped. Look, you want to take it back over. You don't think it was fun. You weren't finding value of it. I'm only left to try and come up with reasons why on my own. Nobody wants me to come up with reasons on my own. If I feel I'm giving a superior service, if I feel like I am being of service, I am building value, I am promoting, bringing spotlights to your particular situation, then yes, of course I want to know why all of a sudden we're not doing it. And why no heads up? Why not, hey, we've enjoyed, give me the Dear John letter. We've enjoyed our time together. We're going to move in a different direction. I have sponsors leave the show all the time. Hey, it's been great. We're going to take these dollars and put them in a couple other places just to test the waters. Good chance we could be back. A lot of times they do come back. But I fear had I not reached out, there would be no communication whatsoever. So if you don't like me, then just tell me you don't like me. Okay. But don't let sales guy kick in on me, because unless you tell me no, I'm not stopping. We just go and we go and we go until we get an answer. Many different ways, many different tactics, many different ways of approaching, wording, all that fun stuff. Like, I'll get it out of you. I'm just shocked that there was no heads up and no reason as to why we stopped doing the live reveals on the show, as we had done the past 5, 6, or 7 years or whatever it is, starting all the way back with Emily Park. I'm not saying I got the Hall of Fame on track and where it is today, but you know what? Next week, if I get an update, I will pass it along on why we stopped. Unless you don't care. Let me know during the course of the week. If you don't care, I don't care. How about that? I'll just know all by myself and I won't share it. Now, changing tunes completely. And on the heels of the David McDowell read for Barbecue School and being lean and mean and healthy and blah, blah, blah. I know a lot of employers probably don't offer this. It's worth your while if you work for at least a medium to large size company, and if you're in a executive level, and that means different things to different companies. Now being the director of sales at Ohio Peterbilt, owned by Ohio Machinery, evidently I have achieved an executive level within the company. And who cares about that? I certainly didn't until a handful of months ago. I got an email from the HR lady who said, hey, the executive physical program that we partner with the Cleveland Clinic on is now being extended to the director's level. And I heard my boss talk about having the executive physical for the last 4 or 5 years before they extended it down to the director level, where they're slumming, evidently. You had to be a VP of one of the groups that we own, or above that, so CEO, CFO, HR, VP. If you were VP and up, you were able to sign up or take advantage of a executive physical. So I would say this: if you are in a medium to large size company and you are in some kind of important role, whatever that means, you should ask the HR lady if there is an executive physical program. If there is, you have to sign up for it. If it's even half as good as the one that I went through yesterday at the Cleveland Clinic Foundation downtown main campus, East 105. Shout out to the east side, best side. Show up 6:30 a.m. on a 12-hour fast. Do it in my sleep, literally. I don't even know if I had to go down 3 different hallways. It was all within the same wing of this particular portion of the Cleveland Clinic I was at. First, blood work. A full regimen of blood work done. The likes I've never seen done on a human before, except my wife when she was going through a lot of the cancer battle. Short of that, haven't seen it on anybody. I got the full panel workup times 100. The lady was pulling more blood. I thought I was going to pass out the amount of blood that she was pulling out of me. I'm like, honey, you're going to keep filling those vials up? Because I feel like I might pass out if you keep going. I wasn't feeling lightheaded. I was just worried I was losing too much blood at a rapid rate. That gets sent off for screening, and then I go and get a chest x-ray, and then I go get a CAT scan, and then they do a whole picture of my heart. They do bone density scan. I did spirometry. I met with a life coach. I met with a nutritionist. We went over my diet, which has been really laid out for me gram by gram by the great David McDowell. Met with exercise physiologist, ultimately culminating the day around 2:30 with a full-blown, I think it's called the Roberts-style stress test, like they're giving professional athletes. And I'm like up on a 80% grade and running at 5 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour, whatever it was. Peaked my heart rate at 235. Now look, I've been on the barbecue diet since mid-January. You would recall I was doing the whole shred down competition with the girls' boyfriends as we went to Florida in March, early March. I continued the training in earnest once we got back, solely for yesterday's executive physical, and then continuing the training over the next couple weeks as Becky and I make it down to the Bahamas beginning of June. Going back to Atlantis and the Cove, where adults only at the pool, please. No punk-ass kids running around doing nonsense. So I've had a number of benchmark dates to hit to stay motivated, to really work it out. And here are the results, gang, in case you were worried. Met with Dr. Sabellos, who's been rated best doctor available in the country. One of the best doctors in the country for many years in a row. I mean, this guy's a gas. I want to be his pal. I want him to be my primary care, but he's the chair of the executive physical department in Cleveland Clinic, so he's got to be some kind of big shot. Oh, the other test they did was they took pictures of my eyes. The fundus, is that what they call it? Everything got checked except my hearing. I know all about the hearing. Eyes got checked, like the reading, eye exam. I got the eye exam, and then the fundus where they flash the light. You can see in your eye. Oh, crazy. So we sat down, and the guy was looking at it. So I met with Dr. Sabalos, somewhere around the 10 o'clock hour initially, and we were looking at my previous blood scores, the LDLs, HDLs, triglycerides, cholesterols, blah, blah, blah. And in 2024, beginning of 2024, there was one set. Then there was another set a year or two before that, I think 2022. So 2022 everything was normal, fine. Beginning of 2024, shit show, to say the least. The doctor's going, like, what's happened here? What happened here? This is drastic. This isn't good. And if we're going to be looking at numbers that are potentially worse than this, you're not leaving here without prescriptions for things, is what I'm saying. So be ready for that. I said, Doc, I think I got it under control. Found my way again. Had a situation for about a year and a half. Took it off from a own health perspective. Ate like shit, didn't work out. Focused on many other things other than my direct proper health. We've circled the wagons back. So I think you're not going to have too much to worry about. I hope, although I am 50, so who knows? And after the stress test, we circle back up around 2:45, Dr. Sabalos, and he said, hey, pal, I got some news for you. You're 50 years old. Your coronary score is that of a 26-year-old. Your resting heart rate is between 45 and 48, elite level. I said, Doc, give it to me straight. Where do I rank in the executive physical standards for you? He said, Greg, I'm not lying when I say that you are easily the most in shape and the most healthy executive physical I have done since the program's inception. I'm elite. I have 9% body fat. 9%. I met with the dietitian, yes, a nutritionist, dietitian, real science. Said, here's what I'm eating, laid it all out. You know me. No variation. Same grams in the morning, same grams in the evening. This is what I'm eating. All the blood came back good. I was I got to take a little calcium supplement because of my osteopenia, like in the lumbar region. That was the worst thing. But the heart's great. 0 plaque in all arteries. Nothing wrong. He gave me the 5-year warranty or he gave me the 5-year guarantee, no cardiac event, and then the 10-year warranty. The 10-year warranty consists of, because of where I am at in health at the moment, assuming I don't just go like way off the cliff. Over the next 10 years, I have less than a 1.4% chance of incurring a cardiac event. I mean, sign me up for the Olympics. I'm elite level, world-class level health right here. If you've ever wanted to see the picture of health, it's right here, hosting the Barbecue Central show, believe it or not. So, very excited to get the news. Wasn't expecting near that kind of achievement or being crowned the best or most healthy or best patient to have gone through the program. But needless to say, this keeps me motivated to go back next year and see if I can keep it up. Even the stress test ladies were like, damn, we're putting you on like highest level and you're just running through it. Good for you. I said, thank you, ladies. I'm trying. I thought we were going to go for like 5 minutes. And they're like, 5 minutes? We doubt you could have made it another 15 seconds. They weren't lying. Like, shit. Now, hold on a damn minute. Look at this. Anthony Parlaman. I've never seen you before on the show or writing in, or maybe I've just inspired you. Joining late and listening from the beginning. Did I catch a crackhead Bob 50-50? Yes, you did. Anthony, you're listening late from the beginning, but just know this. In 2 hours and 50 minutes from now, I am referencing your comment right now at 10:57 p.m. Eastern. 50-50. Good for you, Anthony, a Howard Stern fan. Good for you. You got it right on the nose, pal. And just like that, I think we're going to call it a day and wrap the show because we're getting close to the end here before I run out of time. So, rest assured, 9% body fat, resting heart rate somewhere between 45 and 48. I peaked on the stress test at 235, recovered very quickly. No plaque in any artery. The chance of me having a major cardiac event in the next 10 years is less than 1.4%. 5-year guarantee, 10-year warranty. Did I mention 9% body fat? That's right. So I will stay on the barbecue diet if it's all right with you. I will keep running down in the basement, bored out of my mind. It's all right with you. I mean, I don't want to live until I'm 100, but 72 would be fine having all my faculties. Why not? All right, back in the first hour, it was Stephen Reichlin and then Wes Wright. We closed it out with the Todd Bullock and Susie Bullock visit. I love it. We have a Fourth Tuesday coming up next week. That means embedded correspondence amongst others. So stay tuned for that. So until next Tuesday, I say this. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. We'll see you back at 9:30 or 9 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday. But until then, I say, Jamo! Jamo!
This is Jeff Stone of Grandpa's Pride Barbecue from the Panhandle of Florida, and you are listening to the Barbecue Central Show.